from the election so far, what are your top 3 funniest moments? I have mine. I think the beer, great moment.
Yeah, the beer
that was pretty silly.
The beer's up there.
I think it was maybe last week. Someone at one of Carney's rallies yelled out, "Lead us, Big
lead
Daddy."
us, Big Daddy. Oh my
And
God.
Big Daddy politics is the only kind of politics I want to see.
Well, I made a TikTok about that where I was going through each of the party leaders and I was like, Carney's like more like a dad.
Right.
Whereas like Trudeau's like daddy, right?
Yes.
And like Doug is like Uncle Doug, right? Like, so like every politician has like that vibe.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Pierre is Millhouse or he's like Randall from Recess.
What are some of the funny moments you've seen so far in the campaign?
Okay, this is more like a political nerd thing.
Okay.
But I really liked when Rosemary Barton was kind of like leaning into Carney and like giving him like a lot of flack, and he just like looked at her and said, "Look inside yourself, Rosemary." Where do you get off saying that to Rosemary Barton? I know. Like, and I get why he was getting pissed off because she kept attacking him on the same things, and like that's her job. And like good for her for keeping up on that. But like the way he said it, it wasn't necessarily dismissive, but it was like so like out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't mean, but like it. Like if he was like a 16-year-old girl, that would have stung.
Right. It would have been like, Dad, look inside yourself. No, but
do you really want to be this person right now?
No, it honestly was so silly. I love that so much. He's like taking the mental health moment, like, you know, like it's like disappointing.
Can we not do this?
Yeah. Look inside yourself. I like that too. I think some other great moments I've loved so far was, well, there's been a laundry list of candidates on multiple sides of the aisle that have been like, oh, no, actually put your hand down. No, thank you. We're actually good.
Oh, wait, we shouldn't be calling for the assassination of our political rivals? Crazy.
Weird in a democratic society. Obviously, biological clocks. Hashtag biological clocks.
Like, okay,
big moment.
And what's really funny is that I've had like a lot of conservative friends and family members being like, it doesn't matter how he said that. No matter how Pierre said that, people would have been offended. I'm gonna do it for you right now. You know, there's a lot of young people out there suffering, and they aren't starting families because they can't even afford to buy a house. We need to focus on allowing people to have an affordable home. Could Pierre have just said that?
Boom.
Could Pierre have just said that instead of saying your biological clock is running out, your eggs are drying up, and you're never gonna have a baby? Why? Like, because that's how people interpret it. It's not that you said that word for word. It's that that's how people interpret it. Like, why are you so incapable of speaking like a normal human being? Sorry.
I don't know. Do you think he's maybe a lizard person secretly?
No, I just think that he spent his whole life trying to become the prime minister, and it traps you. It traps you in this worldview, and I've been stuck in it too. When you create content, like it's really easy to get sucked up into your own like little bubble.
Yeah.
But like, we forget that there's real people out there, and it happened during COVID, and it happens with a lot of different things. But like, when politicians forget that there are real people that disagree with them, and we need to like talk to them normally, we get sucked into these like MGTOW, red pill, weird corners of the internet, and it makes us detached from reality.
I have a take on biological clocks. I don't think it was said. He was like, I'm appealing to young conservative men. Who like maybe are in this echo chamber.
I think he thought it was going to play well with women. I legitimately
really?
I think he thought it was going to play well with women. Because like there's a fear, right? Like there's so many young women who want to start a family.
Sure.
And they are unable to for many different reasons. And I think that Jenny Byrne and Pierre and the people in his war room were like, oh yeah, let's play into their fears, because fear is how you get people to vote conservative. But like that's not fear. That is like fear of you taking away my rights, not fear of me not being able to have a kid.
No, it's giving misogyny.
Yeah,
it's
they played on the wrong fears, right?
They did.
And so I think
my fear now is that like I have an app on my phone that I use to track my period.
What's happening in the States, right?
Yes, that's my fear. That's my fear. I might start writing it down in a book and then just, I don't know, forget when I'm going to get my period every time.
Here's the thing. I was telling people this when Pierre was like at like almost 50% in the polls. Even if we had a conservative government with a massive majority like that, and they were able to make some sweeping changes, fundamentally because of how courts work in Canada, and because we don't have like a demagogue style leader like there's with Trump, even though Pierre mimics a lot of Trump's behaviors and mannerisms, we do not have a country or a system that is set up to allow for that.
God bless.
Not that it can't happen here, but like with the current way things are set up, it just wouldn't. So I'm not saying don't be scared and don't fight for your rights.
Yeah.
But like, we also need to be careful that we're not running to the extremes and saying the conservatives are going to take away all your rights. No, most conservatives don't want that. And most conservatives are very rational people. It's just that Pierre is crazy and I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like,
period.
Period. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like when the guy you already don't like is at the party, didn't bring a gift, and also is spewing weird biological clock shit.
It's like Erin O'Toole. I liked Erin O'Toole. The guy had like good energy. Like I think he would have been a pretty okay prime minister. I wouldn't have had a problem if he was elected. But then all of a sudden they went from like Andrew Scheer, who was like the guy chugging chocolate milk and like super weird vibes, to O'Toole, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're okay. And then we didn't elect him. And then it was like, oh, let's go to the craziest person we can find.
Right. And I feel like, as you said before, he was foaming with his hand up.